All right, hello and welcome to Tenor for Tenor episode number
5,
apparently.
maybe.
Welcome. How have you been, Omikin?
Not playing Granblue Fantasy. That's how I've been.
Pretty much the same with me. We've both been playing Relink a whole ton. So much of the episode today is going to be about Relink. So we'll see how that goes. Before we get into that, though, I think we should talk about some of the stuff that's happened in Granblue.
Sure, I guess.
All right,
If
Omikin,
it
what's happened in
even
Granblue?
matters. I don't even know. I've been playing Relink. I was playing I was playing after stream with some friends the other day.
Okay.
And it was like right before Rise of the Beast was gonna end, and I realized I had not finished my badges.
Okay.
So I was like 5 minutes until the event ends, and I needed to do like all of my like fire badges. I just happened to leave the fire one to last, and like apparently you get like the saint stickers at the very end. So
You
like
do.
I was like mashing.
You would have missed out on the
I
Chichiri
was
sticker.
super close.
Okay, so we'll talk about ROTB, but yeah, I did all my dailies day one. Like I did everything day one because I knew that Relink was coming out and I would not play much ROTB if at all. Aside from the daily mission, so yeah. But yeah, this run of ROTB brought finally some new additions to the profile room stuff and a way to get profile coins, which was just sort of forgotten about ever since its release. Have you changed your profile room with the new stuff?
I think it's in a good spot right now.
I want to add
It's
some of
got
the
my
Saint
fire
stickers.
favorite, so.
But yeah, because of Relink, I haven't adjusted any of mine yet. Other than that, this ROTB was sort of light. I am glad that we're getting like what seems like a consistent source of profile stuff.
We just need to get a consistent source of new stuff too.
Yes. When do you think the next new quote unquote things happen in ROTB? And what do you think it is? Do you think like FLB is next? Or do you think something else happens before?
Let me think. I guess they could technically do the Honglong and Qilin skins for MC.
That's
technically,
true, yes.
I guess.
I would like to see that, yeah. So we could
like
get skins.
that would give them time to pad the time between that and FLBs, because they still got to do all of Evokers
for sure, yeah. And I would imagine they don't want to take away the spotlight from the Evokers either to do the Saints. Like they want people to focus on Evokers before they do Saints. Maybe they could do domains. I can see that.
Yes.
Evokers got domains before FLB, right?
The problem is with Saints is that you can only do them during the event.
True.
Like with Eternals, you can farm all the mats, like everything besides the Revenant weapons, you can do outside of Guild War. Evokers, there's sandbox now, so you can it's entirely outside of any limited event, pretty much. But Saints, if you do not do them during the event, you cannot get them. So
they could change that with the FLB mats, though. But I guess the initial recruit will always be tied to ROTB. But that's the same with Eternals, I guess.
Right? You can't get them all in like one go. Like they're always limited, at least currently.
I would argue that's not different with Eternals on release either.
Yeah, I feel like I guess that's like the new thing right now, but they've definitely been trying to add more catch-up stuff.
Yeah, they have.
So.
Okay. So yeah, I do agree that they probably delay FLBs until after Evokers are done. I wonder how much they change on FLBs though, in the characters. Because all of them are decent budget characters, but none of them have like a... They're not as relevant as Evokers and Eternals, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I still do not. I haven't used the water one, whatever her
Uruki.
name is. I forget. Uruki.
Yeah.
I basically only use Ami for Iggy M3, which
Yep.
I don't really do that much.
That's my only place where I use Ami as well.
Shushuku, I just don't use. I would like to use her because she's fun and I like her character, but I just have nowhere to use her.
Mm.
I do admittedly use Chichiri quite a bit, but you know I play a lot of fire content and I like to make some budget content here and there. So I think she's like
too.
Shushuku's pretty close,
Oh,
but
is she? Okay. I thought Chichiri was
I think Chichiri is like the most easy to plug into a team compared to the others.
I agree. Yeah, I think I agree. I think the light and the dark ones are fine too to just chuck in.
I forgot about those. I have not used them.
Yeah.
I want to use Piju, but again, I don't play light first of all, and I don't really have anywhere to use him. So
yeah, fair enough. All right, I guess we'll have to see with the next ROTB update if something else happens. Because yeah, I think we're bound for some new content soon because the last couple ROTBs have all just been old
Sleeper,
stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like for anybody who's caught up to date, there's been nothing to do in ROTB for a while.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. But I would say them not adding new stuff means that it is less overwhelming for newer players too, which is ultimately a good thing. But at some point they have to add new stuff. But on that note, I do like the system changes they made to ROTB with the pendants. Now that you don't have to worry about the cap and things like that.
Yes, it's so nice. I can stop feeling bad about not caring about parking.
Yeah, and not having to worry about that you're going to overcap while you're farming. And then you can just spend all the points all at once at the end is a lot better. I also think that the not having to save your proud battles until the very end is really nice too.
Right. There have been one or two where I definitely forgot to do them.
Smoothie says, I recall ROTB Saints coming out in their year of mid-range content when they were doing Enyads, being more new player friendly, and FLB domains TC could be breaching into long-term grind.
Saints came out with Magna
with the
3.
M3s, yeah. They came out with M3s. Or they came out shortly after M3s, I think. And it was a quote-unquote like pattern that people saw that each Saint sort of handled the Omega-3 rates in their own, like their mechanics, which was overall a good thing. Maybe y'all are just scared to lose on parking points. Okay, Maki.
Didn't Maki lose like every time?
Yeah, Maki lost like every time, by the way. It's true. But yeah, like I see where you're coming from. You're saying like Saints fill up this gap where Evokers and Eternals are these long grinds, but Saints aren't. But I think you want a reason to get them. If over time Saints will get weaker and weaker, that's just how power creep works, and you want them to stay relevant. Otherwise, there's no reason for people to get them, right? So it's the reason why Eternals and Evokers are constantly updated, and why it's always a good investment to get farmable characters. So yeah. All right. Anyways, that's ROTV. Any final thoughts on that before we move on? Nope. Okay. Well, on the same day as ROTB, we actually had another event happen, which was Rucksack Battles.
Right. I saw that and I'm like, all right, guys, have fun. I did not even click on it.
Okay, so I think for some people, especially people who came from Steam release, this was their first Rucksack Battles. I'm going to ask the chat room here, what did you guys think of Rucksack if it was your first time playing? So I'm personally a Rucksack enjoyer. I love Rucksack. I do wish this one had some balance changes because there are clearly some classes which are just way better than others, which makes it really hard to win with an underpowered class. But yeah, I personally really like Rucksack. They added some new trophies, which was like you need to get, is it 30 or 50 wins with each class? I didn't get those trophies because, spoiler alert, Relink came out and then I didn't want to play Rucksack anymore, but that was about it.
My favorite thing about the event is how they make it so that I don't have to play the event. So
Yeah, it's true.
I don't have to force myself into playing a mode that I don't particularly enjoy playing. Like I enjoy playing like a couple rounds, but then I'm like, all right, but cool.
Yeah.
I played it once. I'm good.
Yeah, and playing once is all you need for that one like ticket that's in there, and then the rest is like
I don't know if
sort
I
of
even got
whatever
that.
that's. Yeah. Oh, you didn't get it.
I don't know. I didn't even click on the event this time.
It was fun until I found out about the meta. Yes, the meta is, it's rough. Necromancer's the wall for that trophy. I think Necro is the worst class. I think. I'm thinking in my head, like top tier classes are Chrysor, Chaos Ruler, Shield Sworn. Classes that, if they get the wombo combo, are extremely good is like RF Lumber, but they're hard to get going, Mana Diver as well. And then classes that, in my opinion, just feel bad are like Berserker, Necro. Or Elysian's fine as well. Elysian's like in that, I would say, between the Lumberjack tier and the top tier. Berserker, Necro. Did I forget one, chat? I think I forgot one class, but yeah. Though Necro and Berserker, in my opinion, do not feel very good to play. So yeah, I was hoping for some balance changes when they were reintroducing this event. But alas.
Also, technically, Steam Babies did play it before in April Fools.
Oh, was it here for April Fools?
It was here for April Fools.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Hold on. Nope, that was 2025.
Okay,
Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because we haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, it was last year's April Fools, it seems. Okay. All right, either way, we'll move on from Rucksack, seeing as I'm the only one enthusiastic about it.
I love that you love it so much. I love when people have things they enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can acknowledge that not everything could be for me. So
That's a very mature take there. Surprisingly.
I hope many other people on the internet can have that take as well.
All right. Next up, we had. Okay, we had Ragnarok release, but we'll talk about Ragnarok last because Relink's going to be the bulk of this podcast probably today. We had Tails run with Judgment, but this time we also had.
Yeah, it was freaking awful.
Yes, but this time we also had Maria, so Justice and Hanged Man happen at the same time, which meant 3 times the amount of things to do basically than usual.
Is it still going? Yes.
Tails is still up, yes. It was fine. Like, obviously, it was more stuff, but like, Tails is still a relatively short event if you're not farming for an Evoker. Like, as in, like, if you're just trying to clear out the shop, it's still relatively short.
I will say I'm glad that I don't have to do all the missions, because I am not doing those 3 Omen clear missions. Not happening.
I took in my like odious FA teams and I just manualed.
Nope, not happening.
I just
it doesn't
until I
give
got 3
limited
omens.
mats. They also added Evoker mats to Alchemy. So like there's a pretty good chance Evoker mats aren't even used for FLBs.
Yes, that's
so, like,
something I
care.
want to talk about. Yeah, so if you guys missed it, they updated the Alchemy list on what materials can be thrown into Alchemy Lab. And they added like Idians and Astras as well, right? I think.
I believe so.
Yeah. Either way, they added some Evoker mats into the into the
They have
alchemiable stuff.
Idians and the what the hell are these called? The long prism things.
Veritas?
No, the other one. No, wait. I think it is. Yeah, Verimproof is the one I was thinking of. Veritas is the ones that are in alchemy now.
Okay, so Astras are not there though.
Let's see. Gold extraction. There are Verimproofs here. There's Idians, Veritas. There are not Astra.
Okay. So yeah, like I feel like this is telling us what mats won't be part of Transcendence, right? Because it would be very mean of them to make it so that you can
wait.
them.
No, Astra is in silver extraction.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go. So yeah, like it would be really mean of them to make it so that you can just dump all your materials and then say, hey, you need these for Transcendence like a week later. So to me, it feels like Transcendence needs entirely new things, which was expected anyways.
Yeah, there's no way people could feasibly pre-farm Evoker FLBs. Like they wouldn't let that happen. They'd love to time gate in whatever way they can.
Yeah, because they want you to keep looking forward to farming and give you things to do rather than being done the moment it's out. Which is I think it's something that is definitely like a cause for discussion every time it happens. Like when Eternals Transcendence first came out, there was so many people who were unhappy about like Blue Papergate or gold bars and things like that. And I would say Blue Paper was also like the same. Yeah, the gold bar was whatever. I don't know why people are so mad about the gold bar, but the Blue Paper stuff, especially it requiring 2 by the end, was a little rough. But yeah, I guess my take here is that time gates for a game like Granblue, I feel like is a necessary evil. Maybe that's not the best way to put it, but I feel like it's a necessary evil in keeping up your drive to continue playing the game, if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I see a lot of new players just mash through content and then they hit the like, oh, okay, well, what do I do now phase of Granblue, where if there wasn't like more time gates, I feel like they would play a little bit longer over the course of various years. But I understand that it can be frustrating, but they do like ease up on some of those time gates, especially with like the papers now, because they added those to the Xeno Militus.
Yep.
So you can just get as many as you need. Whether that's a good decision with Evilites, we'll see. But it's there, so.
I mean, as long as you're not using it for gold bars, right?
Yeah.
How many have you spent again?
A lot. I think every single thing I've gotten from Xenomelitus has been gold bars.
Oh my god.
Let me see how many I have currently. I have 237 sextants right now.
Mm-hmm. I think we checked this last week.
They were free. They were free. Like, what else was I gonna do with them?
What do you mean they were free?
They're free. They're just there. You just get the gold bar.
Okay, that is not a valid argument.
Okay, but I had no use for Evilites. What would I do with that?
I have
and I needed the gold bar.
905 sextants. I have spent a couple on, believe it. What could you get? It was Everlight.
It's Evilite and gold bar until recently.
So it was. I used some for Everlight then. In that case, back when Evoker Uncap was happening.
I think I used 1 for an Evilite for like my last one or something. My last 2 maybe. But like I went to gold bar very soon after.
Yeah, someone in chat mentions that they're releasing Evoking Solomonus with the Transcendence, and yeah, there's no way they would make that dead content by being able to let you farm all the, like pre-farm all the mats that you get from it. So it completely makes sense that Transcendence is going to use something else. And so yeah, I agree with that. Anyways, yeah, this Tails was definitely like a catch-up one to let you get your Maria or Kaim skill 4s if you don't have them already, because you need one of the two to access this new game mode, and therefore Transcendence as well. So there's something to prepare if you haven't got it yet. All right. On the 14th, we also got Cucouroux Uncapped FLB.
Sure. I guess we got that.
We got that. What do you think about Cucouroux, Mikan? I'm the foremost expert in Cucouroux FLB, I swear.
Sure. I don't like that she's like mean angry in her art when like her other arts are like smiley happy. So that's my criticism.
Okay,
I don't know anything else.
I'm taking a look at it right now. I see what you mean. She's in combat on the Gatling gun.
Like if she was excited about mowing people down with a Gatling gun, that would be great. You know.
I don't think Cucouroux is that sort of character, I must say. But perhaps. Anyways, for full disclosure, because this released during Relink, I did not really know what this character did at FLB until earlier this morning when I was asked about it. So I had a quick read a couple hours ago.
More than me.
A couple hours ago. So I've not tested anything about this character. So I will defer to chat. But my impressions upon reading it is that it feels like modern day permanent unit character. Like that's what it feels like. There's obviously added synergy because of the gun, but she doesn't, to me anyways, look anywhere close to like a meta gun character. Her kit is sort of weird the way it's done, I feel. Because she gets like the flurry 2 hit as a visible buff when using S2. So you could have just added it to S2. I know that this flurry is only to her, but like there are plenty of buffs that do that as well, that specify, hey, a part of it is for the team and this part is only for her. So it feels a little weird. And then she like resets her cooldown on Ogi is one thing, which for many meta teams, turning off charge attacks is the way to speed up. So her wanting to charge attack to keep up some of her buffs is a little bit awkward, to say the least. But yeah, to me, it looks like a full auto gun character, which you can fit into the team if you're missing, like Cajun said in chat, like an Halloween TN or Essa. Or I think compared to characters like Ilsa, she is lacking a lot of more useful utility. Because like Ilsa has her debuffs, and then she also has the Dispel that auto activates during the turn, whereas Cucouroux only has her debuffs that activate after the turn. Or it's this 100% TA, DA, and Gravity that resets upon enemy special attack. And I think the multi-tack down is nice, but the Gravity's sort of whatever these days. Charge Diamonds is...
Has a boss been able to be inflicted by Gravity lately?
Well, that's the thing, right? I feel like Delay and Gravity, I think this is a bigger conversation where like certain debuffs are rapidly losing their value, especially in more relevant newer content. Like I haven't tested, for example, against Nihui Vinte, the Water Odious. And not the, sorry, I'm thinking the wrong one, Belmerfolk. I haven't tested against Belmerfolk, but I would imagine that Gravity / Delay doesn't do much in that raid. Because like, I think conceptually, like Gravity / Delay are really, really, really strong debuffs, where if they worked all the time, it'd be too strong. All Odiouses are immune to Delay, yeah. What about Gravity in this case? Can you at least inflict Belmerfolk with Gravity? But yeah, her kit has both Delay and Gravity, so it's like this weird debuff where it is good when it works, but it doesn't work most of the time. Gravity Delay is more powerful in one crystal bosses, yes. And that tends to be older content, right? So many of these older debuffs, in my opinion, fall into this category where they're just too good if they worked. Like the examples I bring up all the time are what is it? I always bring up Comatose, like these ones. It's pretty much all of these ones here. Like the Scared Stiff, Stun. Yeah, like I don't even know what bosses you can do stun on. Comatose or Sleep, Cold Cage, Paralyze. Like Tuyen or Song is just never used for the Paralyze anymore because it doesn't work most of the time. So like conceptually, some of these debuffs are incredibly powerful, which means that they have to restrict where it can be used, which I think is sort of lame. And when a new character or a new update to a character has these mechanics, it feels like it doesn't work for half the raids, which sort of sucks.
It's always a surprise when a boss is immune to one of those. I think it's usually Guild War bosses that's just like randomly vulnerable to like Scared Stiff or Cold Cage.
Yes. Guild War bosses are like the one time where some of these weird debuffs work. I remember, do you remember the Fire Guild War where we were using Summer Medusa Bow?
Yep, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yep. The Summer Medusa Bow, which does Scared Stiff or Petrified or whatever, whichever one it is. And then, yeah, the Summer Medusa Bow you would use with, I think it was Robin Hood back then, right?
Probably.
Because
I don't think
Boogeyman
Boogie would
didn't
have been
exist. Yeah, and I'm thinking of another bow class. It probably was Robin Hood. And then, yeah, you would just make the boss not do anything for for however long it was up for. So it was nice. And yeah, sometimes Guild War bosses randomly are prone to some of these debuffs, but for any regular content, pretty much most of the time, these things don't work. Yeah, Lethal Hit. Like, Lethal Hit just doesn't work.
It shouldn't work.
And yeah, I agree. It should not work, right? Which is funny that, like, this was a trivia question that I had a long time ago for one of the first Jeopardies. But like Colossus, it's funny when like bosses like this are like immune to lethal hit until 5%. It's like, what the hell's the point? At 5%, you get to now lethal hit. So, yeah, I don't know. Essentially, I think Gravity and Delay fall into sort of this bracket where they are very powerful unless the raid is designed around them, like Belial. So they tend to just not work in newer content. So I think that's one part that sucks about Conqueror.
I feel like Belial was like the point where like, okay, we tried to discourage the use of delay with skills and such to kind of balance it, but it still didn't really work.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna say no more delay.
I think raids are designed much better as a result, I will say. Like, I think V2 raid design is, in general, much better than most of the old V1 raids.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why they keep printing characters with it then. if the raid design's moving away from that stuff.
I guess it's not on my illustrious.
I guess it's for the rare times when like it works in Guild War or something like that. Because in Guild War it is useful being able to delay the boss if your team is a bit slower on that regard. What raid does Typhon stop working? Typhon doesn't work in Belial, right? I can't remember. There was something around there.
I think you still get the effects. I don't entirely remember.
I think you don't get the diamond drain, but you get the charge bar or something like that.
It's been so long.
Yeah. Either way, it shows, right, that Typhon is an incredibly powerful effect, but it doesn't work half the time, so that's why we don't see it. Typhon here. And the other thing is that many modern raids, you need to take the Omen. You can't delay it. Like, if you look at Vesusia at Halos, the way to remove the Halo is by seeing the Omen and cancelling it. So you can't even delay in those cases, even if
Imagine
it
if Shishio actually delayed in Versusia and water players just saboed even more.
worked. Yeah. And earlier I was asked a question about Shishio, and like they should just change the delay at this point. And yeah, it's like it's weird for sure because delay is just a debuff that doesn't do much these days.
Did they take it out of Murcielago?
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes,
They did.
They did. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't the identity of it. It was more the drain.
Drain.
But
Yeah. They just chucked delay drain as well because it probably has the word drain. But yeah. But yeah, Shishio still delays on charge attack. So
I think because it was like actually used for some setups,
Belil,
and
yeah.
like the weapon still functions, and people have the weapon. They wouldn't just like get rid of it.
Yes, yeah. I remember Shishio was one of the earliest like Belil full autos, I believe, right?
I could not tell you.
I
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think
It was a pretty good weapon back in the day.
Yeah, because delay on Ogi was relatively rare, and this was in Kengo's like super like meta relevance period too. So I think Shishio was one of the earliest Belil full autos because of the delay on charge attack. So yeah, it does suck having one part of the weapon just not be relevant. So maybe it's something they can look at in the future, perhaps. Like they could just keep the delay but add something else here. I think the spell is probably too powerful, but like even if it was just another stackable down or something like that, it would feel better at the very least. So yeah.
No, I think it's fine. You guys can have your weapon.
Oh, you think it's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
You say you guys, but I haven't even transcended mine.
That's so funny.
I haven't seen a reason to.
I kind of wish I didn't do Andromeda, but like, what else is I gonna do with those moons right now? I'm not gonna fully regret it until I did all my weapons.
Okay. I'm surprised you did even the ones you don't really use that much.
I use most of them.
Okay. Wait, how many do you have?
I have illustrious weapons. I have, if I can do quick math, 7.
7. Okay. So both fires, Blazing, Higurashi, you're on fire now. Arish. Hunting, Andromeda. What's the last one?
Hirschfelger, yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised you did Andromeda.
I think that was one of the first ones I did because I think the details were released early on, and I didn't feel like I needed to wait to record the stuff for it. Where like Mistral and Higurashi, I like recorded like every single step for that.
Okay.
It's fine. It's only what, 50 moons?
Only 50 moons. Okay.
Yeah. I have my emergency 0 right now, so.
Oh, you have 150 moons.
I have 206. I have emergency illustrious.
What would that even go to?
I don't know.
I don't think there is anything. It would just
be. I think Zosimos is like.
Yeah.
I think that's the next one, maybe. I've kind of fallen off on Murcielago, but.
I think Mercy is just a for fun weapon, but I think for fun weapons, Zosimos seems way more fun, personally. Especially with Wizard Origin. Looks really fun to me.
I like the stupid strong nuke. I think that's like the coolest part. So, bye Futsu. Play light. Low.
Wolf and Cucouroux's FLB Fate episodes tell a lot about the deeper implications of the Grand Uplift. And Elmot just goes, oh right, the environment dam as a side tangent. Oh, is that so? Okay. I haven't read Wolfram Renee nor Cucouroux FLB Fate. So it's cool that they're talking more about the world implications in the Fate episodes for sure. When are we expected to get the next main story quest again? It's soon, right?
Soon. I expect after summer stream.
Yeah. They'll probably talk
They'll
about it in the
say,
summer
hey,
stream.
it's in a week.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to see where it goes on the main story.
I'm excited to get Grand Mina Mint.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully not in light.
We also got a couple new things with the maintenance, which was randomized MC outfits. We got the default full auto setting, and we had the co-op room changes, or the new update to that. Have you used the MC thing yet?
I think it's cool in theory, but I just don't want to explode my asset like that. So
is there a big difference?
Hold off.
I haven't tried it actually.
I don't know. I feel like it would just like explode. I would have to like cache every single skin I would want to use before doing something important. So
right.
But you can set which ones, but I like a lot. So
right, fair enough. I think it's a good change. But yeah, there is the asset loading thing, but I think once you cache it shouldn't be that bad. At least for casual play, it'd be completely fine. Like I would turn it off for Guild War, but for regular FAs, I'm sure it'd be okay. At the very least, it's an excuse to use some other outfits when you normally might not use them, which is cool.
I have 35 MC outfits, by the way.
Right, that is a lot. We have the default full auto setup. This is something that a lot of people have been asking for ever since Steam, I think, release. I've seen it the most since then. But yeah, now it's a thing, so you can just turn on default full auto from the start of the raid.
Insane that they got rid of it.
I still don't understand why they got rid of it. Because it used to be in the game, if you guys didn't know. It used to be in the game, then they got rid of it, and then now it's back. Yeah, it's a setting that used to exist, and the funniest part was whatever your setting was on before they got rid of it, it persisted. So for example, I had turned mine off for some reason, and Omikin had hers on, and then when they got rid of the setting, it just kept whatever setting you had. So Omikin's has always been on ever since, and mine has always been off ever since. So yeah, like, I don't know why it's a thing, or why they got rid of it in the first place. I'm sure there was a good reason, but yeah. And then the co-op thing, we can quickly go past this, but basically in the co-op menu now, let me bring it up on stream. You can see me full autoing Mugen.
Oh, of course. You always full auto Mugen.
What's wrong with full autoing Mugen?
It's just your go-to raid. Every time we check in on you, you're full autoing Mugen.
Well, I finished my Odious FA, so I'm now on Revans, and Mugen's at the top. Anyways, these raids, when you go into co-op, now show which elements that they need. And it tells you, hey, you can't join with whichever elements are filled up. Do you think
Great change?
Yeah, this is really good. Do you think this is replacing, or this is the queue system that they talked about in the past?
I don't know. They've been like kind of weird with that. Like with the Guild War thing, with the Horde mode, they said EX plus, but then they released EX. And it's like, is this the one are they talking about? I think so at this point. And then here they said they were gonna do a queue system, and then they also said they were gonna make co-op stuff easier. So like, I don't know, but it definitely way easier for international players, global players, to interact with Japanese players, because now you don't have to remember Japanese characters to put into your co-op room, and also you don't have to spam refresh on the room anymore.
That's another thing. Yeah. So in the past, the newest raid would pop up at the top which meant that if you were the host of a room, you would constantly like make the room public and private to make it show up at the top. But now it just shows it in a random order now, so much better. I do want to ask you and everybody else here if I'm the only one who sees, like, for example, this middle one, currently light and dark are not grayed out. In my mind, that makes me think that they need light and dark.
They do.
Sorry. In my mind, see, I'm confusing myself now, but I keep thinking the opposite is what I'm trying to say.
So you think because they're filled in, that's who they have, and the grayed out ones are not filled yet?
I keep thinking the opposite. And I'm trying to readjust. But the first time I saw this, it was like, oh, like, for example, like this one, like water is lit up. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that means water's taken up. So they need wind. And I would click on it and then like wind is taken. But yeah, I keep confusing myself now.
I understand your thought process, but like it has to be one of them. It has to be it's filled, so it's available, or it's filled, so it's not available. Like,
I'm thinking they could have made it clearer with like a red slash through it or something.
That would have been really ugly.
I do agree, but it would have been clearer. I'd agree if the words elements wanted wasn't right there. Yeah, true. It does say elements wanted. I don't know. But it was just my first instinct. My first instinct was when I saw it, it would be like, oh, okay, dark is filled up. I need the rest. So yeah, minor complaints. It's something that I'll just get adjusted to over time. The clearest would have been adding a little smiling person icon besides the filled elements. You can also just look at how many people are in the room. Yes, until you reach a point where there's 3 out of 6, like the bottom one here.
I think the reason they went with the current way is because at a glance, it's easier to notice the ones that are lit up. So when you're looking for a room, I'm looking for dark. Oh, those dark rooms are lit up. Let me go to those.
Yeah,
versus the other way around. It's harder to see.
I do think this is better for full disclosure. It's just, yeah. It's just, it wasn't my first instinct is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. I do hope that if a queue system is possible, that they still do it. Because being able to just queue for a raid sounds so nice. But I'm honestly not sure if that's even possible with how Granblue's set up.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty big update to a system, and this one was really easy to implement.
Yep.
So,
like, yeah, I'm sure this one would have
know.
been not that much. At least compared to a queue system anyways.
With how spaghetti this game is, I don't think something like an auto queue is anytime soon.
Yeah. All right. Shall we talk about the relinks?
I guess it's time.
So, where do we begin? I guess I'll bring up the game on stream just so we have Subway Surfers gameplay going on. I'm just full autoing at the moment.
Of course you are. They should add Mugen to Relink so you can full auto Mugen in Relink too.
Okay, real talk though, Mugen would be a cool fight in Relink.
It would. It would be really cool.
Mugen would actually be a really cool fight. Like, we've talked about it on stream before, but Big Ballistic Boy, where he jumps up into the air and he comes crashing down, like that would make an awesome trigger. Or like an awesome
entire arena is just red except for like the very edge.
Yep. And you're just like running for your life to the edge. And like the first time it happens, it's going to be like Radahn in Elden Ring, where he just disappears and the music just stops. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And then he just comes crashing. You see the red indicator show up on like the circular AoE. And then he just comes crashing down. Big Ballistic Boy outdoing Radahn, yeah. Mugen Big Ballistic Boy would destroy the arena. That'd be really cool too. That would be something I'd want to see, like some terrain like changes as part of the fight. So yeah, that would be quite cool. All right, anyways, let's go back. So Endless Ragnarok came out. Pretty much it's I would say the bulk of it is end game content. They added some conflux, like the new mode conflux is doable in part of like the base game story and stuff, but most of the changes are in the end game. They added 6 new characters. I think all of them look really fun. And I've played 4 of them. Yeah, I've played 4 out of the 6 new characters. They're currently in my party, actually. And who have you been playing mainly? I mean, I know the answer, but mainly for everybody else here.
Yeah, so obviously I started with Frau. She is a lot different than how I normally play. I'm normally like a ranged player. I used to play Song before, or Tuyen. So it's very different from how I normally play.
Yeah, Frau's very melee.
It took a bit of getting used to. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really tried anyone else besides Beatrix, who I didn't really like. She just felt a little clunky. I tried Eustace on the demo. He was alright. I like to try Galanza. He's on my list of characters to build. He's pretty soon actually. But I haven't really tried Fediel because there's just a billion Fediel players.
Fediel is very popular at the moment. I'm surprised you're trying out all these melee characters as opposed to ranged.
They're different, so
yeah.
And now I'm kind of used to the melee play.
Oh, okay, right. You still leveled up your Song and Siete too.
Yes, they were mostly done. Anyway, Song was pretty much done. It was just leveling the mastery stuff and like the new weapons. Siete wasn't actually fully done, but I finished him recently and I got to learn him, and he's pretty fun. His combos are really long, but I have to get used to that. So
yeah, I think so. I've been playing Frau more recently as well. Just to give a bit of context, I played through the base, not the base game, but like the Endless Ragnarok story with Fediel. Once I finished the story and was into post game, I built Eustace first to play as Eustace, and then after that, I leveled up Frau and Magliol to play those characters too. And recently, I've been playing Frau the most. And like Frau as a melee character feels really satisfying, I think. Like
she's fine.
Her combos are really fluid, and I think that's my favorite part. Her regular combos, not even talking about like the skills. So, and I think that immediately makes it feel very different from other characters, melee characters so far. Because like Beatrix, to me, it was always like, I haven't played her since the demo, to be fair. So I don't know how she is with the master traits. But like in the demo, it was like press square a bunch, then press combo finisher. And then it was sort of that, but maybe use a skill in between or something like that. But Frau having the 2 gauges that you want to balance and level you want to get up to max means that you swap between the stances, and the stances have different combos and movesets. So that I always found really fun.
Yeah, Beatrix, from my very minimal understanding of her kit, like she just feels very kind of flat. I don't entirely understand how her gauge thing works, but like I just feel like I'm doing the same stuff and I'm not doing a whole lot.
Right. I am planning to build Beta next though. For me, I think we'll talk about this in a moment, but the master trait system I really like for many of the characters, and they change the characters in a bunch of ways, which I think is very interesting. Okay, let's go in, maybe not in order. All right, before we start, if you gave the DLC a rating out of 10, what would you say?
I would say a good In terms of like, I don't play a whole lot of games, especially ones like this that have like sizable content editions. I mostly play just like maybe story editions for some like games like Fire Emblem or something like that. But in terms of with that as a basis, I would say it's a pretty solid 8 out of 10. Um, the story wasn't particularly like amazing. I don't expect it to be. While the story overall is enjoyable, it's not like the biggest point of Relink for me at least. The combat in all of the additions were really fun. Um, so I think that carries most of the weight there. But what
For
about
sure,
you?
yeah. Well, before we move on, I just want to point out and make sure that on the record that Omikin said that Frau is an 8 out of 10. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say your thoughts.
No, I think overall I agree. I think critically it's like probably an 8 out of 10. I think I agree with that. For me, it's probably 9 just because it's Granblue and it's Relink and I like Relink a lot. I gave it like a mini review once I finished the base game. So when we got up to the final quest of the not the base game, but the base DLC. But essentially, I'm very happy with all the new fights that they introduced. All the other quests that had the old like remixes or revamps of the older bosses, some of them were fine, but at the end of the day, it's definitely more exciting to see new bosses and new people to fight. So like World Bobs, like all of these fights are really cool. So when you have to fight the Timu dragons for like the 20th time, it gets a little old. Or
And
if
the
you have to,
crocodiles.
yeah, the
Oh
crocodiles.
my god.
Like, sure, some of them have new moves, like the crocodile having the crazy spin is cool to see for the first time, but at the end of the day, it's still a crocodile, right? So I think that part was less like exciting. And I talked about
Yeah.
this with chat when we were first discussing this, but I think you can definitely tell that Relink Endless Ragnarok was a reactive development as opposed to something they planned from the beginning, which is something that Fukadas actually talked about. Because they said they only made this DLC because of the positive reception to the base game. So it wasn't something they were initially planning. So because of that, I can understand, like, since it wasn't planned from the beginning, they probably had less time and resources to prepare this DLC in the first place. So I'm glad we got it, and I'm glad of all the new fights that we got. It's just a shame we didn't get to see more, I guess, is the only thing.
My expectations were kind of set with the initial release when we saw how many like recolors and such there were.
Yeah, that's
Again,
fair.
I don't typically play like I've never really played Monster Hunter. This game is compared a lot to Monster Hunter in various ways. But like it was a different kind of game, and like I kind of understood like, oh, this is just kind of how it is early on. So them doing more recolors for Endless Ragnarok was like a little disappointing, but like not surprising at all.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like I
surprising.
wouldn't expect them to do more than what they've done.
Yeah,
They honestly they did a lot more than I expected. So
I agree. It's pretty much exactly the same for me. I expected the recolors and things like that. I'm happy with the new fights we got, but obviously the gamer and the greedy part of me just wants to see more of them because all the new fights are so cool. Speaking of the new fights, what is your favorite?
I thought about this through the entire playthrough that I've done, and I feel like my answer keeps changing with every new fight that I did. Like each time I learn it more, like I still don't know if I have an answer. I would say it's close between Bubs and World right now.
Hmm.
Um, world being not particularly difficult, but thematically really cool. Bubs being difficult for me. I'm not like the most amazing player, but like there's so much he does and it's so cool.
Yes.
So it's more of like a challenge fight for me. So both of those are probably my top right now.
Though those are my top two as well. World is my favorite. I like the music and the fight itself having the quickening parry in the infinite version. I really like, and I really love all the references to all the Arcarum in his moves as well. But yeah, Bubs is a very, very, very close second for me. I think that Seraphon and Twain would be higher if they had a harder version.
Yeah, that was they started the DLC with that fight, and I'm like,
Yes.
this is crazy.
Yeah, like seeing Cara Magnifico and things like that in Relink has been really, really, really cool. And unlike some of the base games duo fights, I think Song and Siete, that fight is done really well. And I think I have nothing but praise for them with the new raid battle designs in Endless Ragnarok. Because pretty much Bub's World, Hexachromatic Hierarch, all these new ones, I feel like there's so much like more enjoyable to fight as opposed to some of the harder content in the base game. Because
it feels less annoying and clunky and jank to play through.
Yep.
Than like the way they updated Fa for all the new fights. Oh my god, so much better.
Yes.
So much less like waste your time mechanics and more like actually doing stuff.
Yes. I think for like out of the fights at the end game, Lucilius is still like the worst quote unquote designed one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because he's still got some jank in there.
Yeah, I call it like bullshit. He just throws a bunch of bullshit at you. And unlike Bubs or World or Hexa, it's harder to understand or see what to do about them. Essentially, like all the ground AoEs or the lasers and stuff in like Bubs or World, it's like very telegraphed and easy to tell what to do and how to avoid them. Even though it might not be easy to, like, it's easier to tell how to deal with them, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas, like, for Far, when you get Paradise Lost, it's like, I guess I get hit. When Go Forward arc happens, it's like, I guess I get hit. And I just dodge and hope I don't get hit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But the new moves that they did add to Far, like, I think it's called Nemesis. Like, that one is a good one.
Is that the one with like the big lasers that go across?
So it's
and then you have to avoid
the area turns purple. There's pillars of light or like purple like lasers coming down from the sky. But then every person has one laser that's aimed at them that follows you. And basically you want to run to like the edge of the arena so that you're taking up the least amount of room with your laser. So there's coordination there that happens with your team, which I really like. So yeah. Oh, Nemesis is old. It's from Zero. Okay, my bad. I thought it was a new one. So either way, I think like that trigger is way better than something like Go Forward Arc or any of the other things that happen like in the middle, which is just sort of like spam dodge and pray for your life, oftentimes. But yeah, like I'm very, very, very happy with how they've done in general the new fights. Which fights did you like sort of fail on your first playthrough of Endless Ragnarok? For me, it was the Lucilius fight. That one mauled me for a couple attempts before I made it through.
There were a lot of really close ones. I got hit by the DPS check for Bubs, like solo. I tried it solo before doing group. Conflicts, I think Conflicts Bubs, the first one you do, took me I think I died once for that one.
What happens when you die in Conflux?
I
Do you
don't
just get sent back
remember.
to the start? Or does like the run end? How does it work?
I think you just end and you don't get like the last reward or
Oh,
something.
okay.
It feels like an eternity. Hexa, I think the first Hexa you do, I think I cleared it. I think I cleared most of them. But I did them after you, so I did see like there's a DPS check for Fa. I did see some of Hexa, so I kind of knew vaguely what to do.
Right, yeah.
But the Infinity ones, oh my god, those are hard.
No, those were hard, yeah. Especially on your first playthrough, when you're doing them without the upgraded terminus weapons and things like that. Yeah, for me, the Chaos plus Lucilius before Hexa, that one walled me for a bit because just like the Granblue raid, he starts with the end. And I was just failing that because I thought you had to kill all the swords initially, right? And since the AI is targeting, because all my first playthrough raids, I do with the AI. I try to do solo. So the AIs weren't targeting the swords properly, so I was just sort of stuck there for a bit. And then chat mentioned that we should just go for the body to stun it. And then I put on some stun gear, and then it got a lot better after that. So I do like how they've referenced the mobile. Like I've mentioned this for base Relink too, but adding all these references from the actual fights from the mobile game, I love to see.
I love all the references. They're so fun.
Yeah. Like Bubs getting Langolin in some of his phases where he just can't be damaged and you just have to stun him. I really like that.
I'm glad they didn't give him a billion buffs you have to dispel because
Yes.
like he gets some buffs, but like there's not too many, so that's reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. Because like that would have been very annoying, but the way they did Langolin in the current iteration, I think is perfectly fine. And speaking about Bubs, I love his overdrive phase or bloodlust. I don't know which one it is, but basically like where he does Chaos Calibers into the yellow or red orb, into Chaos Calibers again, and then he does the other orb. Like that whole sequence, I feel, is really fun to learn how to deal with. And
It's scary.
It
It's
is
really
scary.
freaking scary.
And the first time when you go in there and you don't know what the yellow or
I
red
didn't know
orbs
what
are
was
doing.
happening.
Yeah. And you just get alley-ooped by the guy, he dunks you. It's so funny. I also think my favorite part of Bubs is that he just yeets you off the arena. And every character has like unique voice lines for that too.
Just an overall fun fight.
Yeah, it is. If they add more post-game content, post-launch content, what would you like to see?
People say characters, like they always want characters, but I want a lot more fights because I feel like we have a good amount of characters.
Mm.
In terms of fights that I want, we mentioned Mugen. I think Diaspora would be really cool,
I
especially
think
with
it could be
how we
cool.
have the full society cast. And they could go on to like explaining more Automagots more because we only have Type A right now, and I don't think they really go too much into that.
Mm.
So I think that'd be pretty, I guess, easy content for them. Please no more Bajas. I don't care about Baja. They mentioned they didn't want to do Belial, and I get that. Like, we already have Ba and we have Bubs. I don't think Belial would be particularly interesting for them to do. And outside of that, like, Grand Order would be really cool. I mentioned when they first announced the DLC, I would really like Akasha. I think Akasha is like one of my favorite fights in the mobile game too, because it's just like there's there's so many different like forms. There's so much stuff that it does
Yep.
that we don't really know anymore because it's a bar farming raid now. But like
Yep.
it's such a cool boss. So
It is. It is. I think thematically it's very cool too. Yeah, I'm sort of with you there. I would love to see new fights. They actually had like a, let me see if I can find it real fast. But they had like a interview thing or some article where they talked about some of the post launch things. I'm looking for it now. Give me a sec. Say something to fill the time.
I think that came out after. I think that came out like at Anime Expo, like after the panels. So I wasn't like I didn't read any of it, but I think they mentioned something like characters are really hard to make.
Yes, that one.
But skins are okay. So we're working on skins. It's like a soft confirm of skins.
Yep.
Because they already have the internal like feature for skins with like Jita and Gran, and like it's a thing for every character, but it's only a thing for the MC and like maybe Siegfried. So and again, yeah, modders do it all the time. Like skins are really easy.
Yeah, I can't find the thing at the moment, but yes, it was from the launch stream, as far as I understand. And yeah, they said characters are really hard to make, so essentially that's like them saying probably not adding new characters, which I'm okay with. Like you said, we have a lot of characters at this point. Obviously, part of me wants to see like other characters or new ones, but new fights is what I would really, 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 really want, because that is the best part of Relink, right? It's getting to fight all the new bosses, and that is both, I think, our highlights from Endless Ragnarok in the first place.
They make fights really well, so please do more.
Yeah, I would love to see new fights. I think I'm with you there on the new ones that you mentioned. We talked about Mugen earlier. I would love to see Mugen, Akasha as well, Grand Order. I think Cosmos could be cool too. Thinking, is there any other raids? I think something like, I don't think they would ever do this because it's a lot of work, but I think Trial of the Primarchs could be cool.
I was just thinking that would be interesting. I wonder if they would do like how they do the 4 dragons, or if they would just have them all on the screen for some reason. So
I think it would be in order. Like the raid is in order too, right?
They have like 4 phase fights already, so
yeah,
they could definitely do that.
So yeah, I would love to see something like that. Some Malice raids have some weird rules too.
It's hard to do Malice because
many of them are based off.
We already have kind of like a Malice for the Relink Magna bosses.
Yeah, the
for lack of a better term,
or something. Yeah.
But like Malice is so ingrained in the mobile games lore, it's difficult to add that to Relink.
Yep. So yeah, both of us would like to see new raids and things like that. All right, let's talk about some of the new systems that they added. Conflux. We'll start there. What do you think?
It's all right.
It's all right.
I can't full auto it, which is good. Like you
yes.
you shouldn't be able to full auto everything. Like you can technically do it, but
yeah, Conflux full auto is super slow. I think for me, Conflux started out like really, really, really good, and then basically it's introduced as a way to get certain materials more easily without having to do the raid, and you get a bunch of materials. And I think it is good for that. I almost wish that at the end you could pick more than just one set of loot.
Right, I was confused about that at first. I'm like, what am I picking here? I've got like 3 stars. I don't know what these stars are, and I can only get one thing.
Yeah, like because for some mats, it's just way quicker and easier to just go fight the actual boss. Especially,
and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and that's my main criticism of Conflux now, is that I think it's just more efficient for my time now to just go kill whatever boss drops the thing that I need. So yeah, I think that's the main thing, because a run of Conflux is around 20 minutes, but like just doing the raid would be way shorter than that.
It's good for, I think, players who haven't done an entire game's worth of farming already.
Yes.
Maybe.
I think the
But
newer you are,
for
it's
us
better. Yeah.
who have all the mats, except like I'm missing like random like low mats for
Yes.
these characters I'm trying to build. I'm like, oh my god, I want to kill myself.
So yeah, like at the start of Endless Ragnarok, when you're first building up into like your first transcendent defender weapons or whatever, Conflux is very good there. And I think the way they introduce bubs there is very cool too. Like it's very thematic of Tower of Babel, or like reminiscent, I should say, sorry. So that part I do like. Next system, I think the next big one that I want to talk about is the master trade system.
An interesting addition from them.
I really like it. I think it pretty much. So one of my main criticisms from the base game was that there wasn't much build diversity. Pretty much everybody converged onto the same sigils and the same weapon, and there wasn't anything you could really do there. And that is currently sort of the same with
3 stun, 2 HP.
Yeah. It's like sort of the same with Endless Ragnarok, where a lot of sigil builds are very similar and the weapon is very similar too. You have the option of going super tank if you don't want to use your terminus weapon, but that is very, very similar. However, I think what they've done really well is differentiating each character's builds by adding that mastery trait system. I think they realized that, hey, sigils are always going to like converge onto something. So like maybe making mastery traits is like the way to go. And I think this is a much better way of doing that as well. So each character has like 3 different, like essentially styles that you can play them in. I think for all the characters, it ranges from like, or like for some characters, it ranges from like very minor improvement or minor changes, I should say, to some characters where it completely transforms like their entire identity. I personally really like it when it like has very transformative effects, and I like it less when it's just sort of the same, but you do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, they've got like a safe option for players who don't want to really go into these other options, and then they've got like the big downside and big upside ones for players who want to be able to play around that and benefit from those upsides.
So like just to talk about, like, I think Eustace is a tree that's done relatively well. Essentially his safe one, I would say, is his shotgun playstyle, which is like his bullets now shoot 3 bullets instead, but they have shorter range. So you want to be closer, but other than that, you do everything the same and you just do more damage if you're closer. And then the one which I like to use the most is his perfectionist tree, which basically makes it so that if you don't get hit, you have a really, really, really big payoff at the end. And that I think is really fun because there's ways to manipulate the payoff so that you get even an even bigger reward, essentially. And then his last trait, like, just completely transforms him from like a normal attack, shoot bullet thing to instead he's just like a skill damage dealer. So you want to spam skills on his last one. And I think like that variation makes it really exciting, and you can change it based on whatever you feel like at any given time. So I think that's cool. I think I've heard that songs is more on the boring side, where everything is just sort of, you do a bit more damage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking at it right now. It's like you do some more stuff with skills you already use. There's one for her S4 which like if you don't cheat that, it's like I guess that's the downside is that you can only cast that once.
Okay.
I might take it because I do cheat it, and it's more fun that way. And then like the other one is like skills you don't use and they don't really do anything. So it's whatever. But
Tay says songs is a disaster. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I the characters I've played so far, many of them change it in very cool ways. But yeah, it sucks when a character doesn't have super cool ones. Like, for example, I think Frow's is sort of tame compared to someone like Eustace or Fidel.
I don't know anything about Fediel's
Oh yeah, okay. I'll talk
masteries.
about it.
So.
But yeah, like Frow's ones, because she has one tree which essentially is the safe tree. It doesn't really change much. It's like the safe tree because like you don't take damage because while you're using your skills. And it's nice. And then there's the tree that just makes you do more damage. And then there's the tree that makes it so that you only have one card. And I think that's the coolest tree because it like
Definitely changes how you play her.
I did test it yesterday at the end of the stream, and ultimately, yes, it does change how you play, but it's very similar still. I was expecting it more to be like Eustace, where like one of Eustace is like normal attack and the other's skill. I think it would have been cool if Frau just had like something that enhances her combo damage or something, right? Where instead of focusing more on her skill damage, it maybe could have shifted more to her combos and her normal attack.
I think they kind of did that with her like no downside one.
Yeah, it
where
sort of
it
is.
does buff that, so it's kind of hard to put that into another one.
Yeah, like so the inside tree, which is what you're talking about, gives her buffs based on her combo finishes, but those sort of just buff her overall damage as opposed to buffing the regular things, I guess. Her regular attacks. All right, I'll talk about Fadil. Fadil has 3 trees. One of them is, in my opinion, bad because it essentially is sort of like Eustace, where you want to do the skill spam playstyle, but Fadil doesn't have much skills that do damage in the first place. So essentially, if she had better skills for it, I think it could be something that could be fun. But yeah, so there's 2 trees. One is for her claw playstyle, which is like the melee focused, and then one is for the balls that she does as her combo finisher. And by default, she can only throw 1 ball when she goes up into the air, but with that master trait, she can throw 5 balls.
Oh, that's where it was coming from.
Yes.
I'm like, how are you guys doing this? I can only do 1.
Yeah, so that's from a master trait. And currently that ball playstyle and Fadil, I think, is what most people in the community are saying is like the strongest character in the game at the moment. I think there's actually, yeah, I think there's a discussion in whether she's too powerful or not. And this also goes into a more deeper debate, which is whether nerfs should happen in overall like single player experiences. So yeah, I think that's perhaps a discussion as well. But yeah, the deal with the ball build is currently seen as very, very powerful because it does a lot of damage. It generates a lot of charge bar, and ultimately it's very easy to play as well. So it's very consistent damage. Like characters like Eustace, for example, the perfectionist playstyle, he does a lot of damage, but it also means you can't get hit. Whereas for deal, like it doesn't matter, and you're very safe up in the air as well because many moves hit the ground as opposed to the air.
Where's the downside in her thing?
In which thing?
In her masteries.
It's really only Frau that I've seen. Oh no, that's not true. But yeah, no, it doesn't really have a downside.
Okay, come on. Where's the downside? I feel like every character has one where there's like some downside. It's like, I don't know if I really want to take that.
Yeah. Like Magliel's, right? Magliel's, she has like the shield one where it makes it so that the bigger her shield is, the more it buffs her damage. But if you ever take a hit, you lose all the shield. So
exactly.
Like it's sort of like Eustace where you can't get hit basically. But yeah, for Deal's one, it's yeah, no, the tree's sort of not so. That trait is very, very good. The balls. I don't think I'm not aware of the skill tree, but I don't think the claw tree or the ball tree has a downside that I recall. It's just you get to do it. It's just a new thing you get to do. But maybe that's the power of the 6 dragons.
Crux is usually the downside one. Let's see.
Which
Gain
one is
buffs,
Crux?
okay. It says Hands of Malice.
Mm,
Whenever she lands hands, she gains that while in effect her skill cooldown shorten. Okay, so that's a positive. If interrupted, Malice is removed. Okay, there's the downside. Are you serious? I guess.
very good character. Probably the best character in Relink at the moment.
She seems fun.
She is fun to play.
It's good that characters are fun.
Yes. Magliel's gets a don't get hit tree and a take 30% more damage during a big payoff tree. Yes. So yeah, it is yeah, Fideo's quite strong. I love Siete's tree with the skill damage one.
It's fun.
You just so if you guys don't know, Siete gets a tree where Infinito Criare, which is his skill that shoots the swords out, you get to hold that until your avatar or gauge runs out, or one of his gauges. So he's just sitting there holding the skill, and in Link time, it's sort of like Magliel, where Magliel just machine guns the foe. Siete is just holding that sword skill, and it does a lot of damage. So yeah, I think those are the types of master traits I love to see. I'll throw this question over to the chat room. What are some of your guys' favorite master traits that you've played on your old characters? Because I've not seen all the master traits or even read all of them. From what you've seen, most characters seem to have a supporty mastery, a DPS one, and a link time one. You like spin. Which one's that? Is that Galanza?
That's Galanza, I heard.
Does he just get to spin like infinitely or something? Zeta gets the infinite loop. Okay.
I'm building Zeta right now because I played her on the release playthrough. So I'm excited to try all of her new stuff and go back to her.
Beatrix master trait turns her into a rainbow Super Mario. That's why I want to build Bea. I think that sounds really fun. Basically, Bea in one of her Delta Clock, in her master traits, makes her Delta Clock just give it all the buffs or something like that. It super powers her, so that's why I want to build Bea. And I think Bea Eustace in my team is cute as well, so. I like how Cag gets to spam collapse. Yes, I'm glad there's a reason to do that. I've seen that one. Sandy actually has combos to do now. I heard Sandy was a little underwhelming until you get all your mastery traits, which is sort of what Fidel was like, to be honest. Fidel until master level 30 was sort of whatever. And then when you get to spam balls, it's super fun. Bea in link time. Oh, is she good in link time?
I think you can just spam her finishers in link time.
Oh, that sounds fun. It's like Frau where you just get to spam Deadlands.
Deadlands is so fun. I'm glad they made that skill.
I need to rant about Frau though. There's a couple of things which I don't like about Frau.
Go on.
One
freaking
is that
video player.
One is that she is like, I forget how many skills each character gets, but you can only bring 4 to the fight, and I want to bring like 7.
They're all fun and good and cool looking.
Yes. So she has hey, I have too many good skills problem where I can't choose what to bring. And I have to leave out cool skills. Like we both dropped Indominus, and that sucks. So that's number 1. And number 2 is that her masteries, her master traits Some of them have like, there's too many good things there, and I can't pick everything that I want. So like, and the half of the problem here is that for some of the Frau trees, they've like split up the damage cap. Like on other characters, it'd be like you get 30% damage cap, but for Frau, it's like on reversed you get 30%, and then on upright you get 30%. So it's like the same passive that's been split to two things. So it just means you need more points. So
she's still fun. I want to use
she's very fun.
It's such a cool skill. It's
which one? Sorry,
just not Indominus.
Oh yeah,
maybe eventually. Maybe when you guys actually debuff the enemy, I can bring Indominus.
I mean, Frau debuffs the enemy too. Frau has so much utility.
Yeah, I have to bring All Fall Down, and I don't want to bring that skill. I want to bring Indominus.
All Fall Down's so good though.
Okay, then you can bring in. I could bring Indominus.
I mean, what I've noticed is that Dispel in a lot of the Infinite fights is really good.
It's really good. I'm like, hey, we have 2 Fraus. Where is my Dispel?
Yep. And whenever I don't play with a Dispeller, like I definitely notice it. Tank Dancho is fun.
I think
that
Hexa
one
gets a bunch of buffs.
Yeah, like Lugo just starts with a bunch of buffs in Hexa. And that's annoying. Like he starts with Refresh and Cut, I think. Looking at some of the master trees, it feels like they should have more points. I feel like you get too many points in the EX tree, which is the one at the very bottom, and you don't get enough in level 2 and level 3. Like, I feel like you should get like enough to not get 2 trees to their trait level 2-star. So like currently you get 10, 10, 10, then 20, right? I think in the second tree you could definitely get like, I don't know. Basically, I don't want you to be able to get 2 stars into master traits, right? I think that would be sort of lame. But I still wish you could have like a bit more points.
2 nodes and the rest, and that feels lame.
Yeah. I think the issue is right because like you need 6 nodes to get the star. And if you have 12 points, then that means you could get 2 trees. But at 10 points, you can't.
Yeah. I guess that's why they made a mod for that. Anyway.
So yeah. I'm excited to try out some new characters. Baya's on my list at the moment. Siete's on my list. I think I'm going to build Baya first. Outside of that. Or once...
I'm glad I finally kind of like start learning Siete, because he is definitely fun.
Siete feels like a cheat character with his skill 4.
Okay, well you have to cheat that to make it good.
Or you can just not die.
Not happening.
7 stars brilliance, when it happens, it feels nuts when it happens.
It's so much damage from one skill.
Yep.
Because it supports your team so much, and it's so much just like time lock.
Yep. Like the way you get to like just CC the boss down and you get to just skip phases with it is really, really nice. That mod breaks your sword.
It breaks Kriade. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Hopefully it's fine. When I don't run the S4, I run the mastery that just like boosts his, or when I do run that skill, I run the mastery that boosts his like avatar gauge whenever you use skills.
Okay.
So like you're just spamming skills and you're always in avatar form. So it's still fun.
Let's see. What's on your plate? What characters do you want to build next?
I mentioned I'm doing Zeta right now. I actually just finished Bea, and I don't like her, so I'm not gonna play her. It's fine.
Oh, okay. You should use her as your CPU, I think. I think she's a good
It's
CPU.
hard because Frau is such a good CPU.
What's your team at the moment?
Right now I have Song as my AFK, Frau, CPU, Fediel, CPU, and then usually it's Magliel, but if I bring in someone from like online. I usually look for Magliels, but sometimes I'll just take characters that look interesting.
Right, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, from like my testing, Magliel and Fidel to me have been inconsistent sometimes. Like sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So I want to try out some other characters like Bayar and Siete and things like that.
I can't use
very
Siete
good. Yeah.
because he'll just turn one, he'll do his test farm like, hey, don't do that. Not yet.
Right.
So I have to take that off.
Yeah.
If I use him as CPU.
Yeah, Exterior said Frau started stealing MVP from your Fidel CPU. Yeah, I think Frau's a much better CPU than Fidel. She does so much damage, and she does a lot more stun as well. I main Sandy, now you have a reason to not spam only wider distance, and you have a reason to use Zorha strike early. Yeah, I think that was my main issue with Sandy in the base game. Like, he was way too good, and without interacting with the enemy, with just spamming the dodge move.
He was boring.
Yeah, he was sort of boring to play. It was fun doing a lot of damage, but it was boring. So I'm glad that they got rid of that, essentially. I want to try out some other sort of underutilized characters too, at least for me, which is like Fairy. That's a character I want to try building.
Did you play Fairy a bit in release?
I played a little bit, yeah. I played a bit in base game. So I want to try Fairy again. There's another one that I'm blanking on at the moment, but yeah. I want to build many of the characters.
I think my list right now is Zeta, Galanza, and Percy, maybe.
Oh, Galanza, yeah. Percy looks fun.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty decent, so I'll give him a shot.
Post nerf Fairy, yeah. I played Fairy. Well, I tried Fairy when her uplift, or not uplift, but like her SBA playstyle was there. But I still played her a little bit afterwards. But yeah. Yeah, I want to try Galanza. I want to try Id. Id is the one I want to try as well. But yeah, so many characters to build.
I'm never going back to mobile. I'm sorry. This is a Relink podcast now.
I do really like that. Okay, so this has been a bit of a topic, which is that the full assist mode, the full auto, is available for the hardest, the second hardest difficulty, which is Chaos++, which is what I'm farming right now. How do you feel about it?
I think it's fine. Honestly, it feels closer to regular Granblue Mobile now.
It does. For sure.
Which I enjoy, so like I don't mind it.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got like your super duper hard bosses that you can't full auto.
Yep.
Even though there is a mod for that now. But it's I think it's fine. Like you still have to build your characters to be strong to be able to do these fights.
For sure.
In full auto.
You can't just like I wasn't able to do this on the first couple of days, like this fight right now, because you just didn't have enough damage. But I think the main thing is that maybe some of the Chaos++ quests could have been moved to a new difficulty. Like, I think the main thing comes from people full autoing like quote unquote hard raids like Bubs or Lucilius. And I can understand that that takes away from those fights a little bit.
Okay, but I still have to do the Infinity one.
Yeah, you still have to do the Infinity one. And at the end of the day, I do agree with you that it's sort of like mobile Granblue, where your first clear of Lucilius is going to be like a nail-biting experience. And then as you get stronger, you can full auto them. So it's sort of like that. Cajun says, inventory management sim that has a side game.
I desperately want them to let me have a second window just for inventory management.
Yes.
While my full auto is going. Please.
I would love to be able to sort my inventory while doing that. And speaking about inventory and like just quality of life things, I think they did improve a fair amount, but there are some things which I think still should be changed. Like sigil synthesis, I think should just be a guaranteed outcome. I don't think that should be RNG. especially when you can save scum it. I think it's just bad.
Yeah, if you can save scum it, just make that regular.
I think
Top with your
999 inventory limit is bad. I think it should be way higher. Wasting, quote unquote, wasting like centrums once you hit 999. It feels bad. Like,
With how much mastery points you need to it capping at 999 still feels
yeah, that
like
I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like the fact that I can be capped at 999 MSP, and if I go to level my character from level 40 or level 54 to 55, 50 plus 5, then like I can't do that. Like it's not enough mastery points. So yeah, I think some of the caps should just be higher. Is there a reason to farm infinity versions beside Hexa? I think the quality of the drops are generally higher. So like, for example, if you want Roland, I'm pretty sure Roland like drops more frequently from the world infinity versus regular world. In fact, regular world doesn't even drop Roland, I think.
I think he does.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I think the infinite ones tend to drop higher rarities. So like some summons have like a rank 1, 2, and 3. So the harder fights in general will drop better rank ones. The stats on them, it seems like with the summon data mines, that they are the same rates. Like when you get a Lucilius, it is going to have a point whatever % chance to have 100% cap up with the stat that you want. But yeah, you don't know if Lilith is dropped outside of Infinity. Ah, gotcha. That's the one I was thinking of. So yeah, that's the main reason to farm Infinite. And the other thing is like, once you've maxed out your characters, farming Infinite is fun because it's the hardest content and it's what matches your strength on your character basically, because the ones below are too easy. A pin set 3. Oh yes, let's talk about crab. The crab meta and the damage cap thing.
I don't want to do crabs. I only have like 22 right now. How many is there total for the white crabs?
45.
Oh my god. No.
All right, so let's explain this real fast. So, essentially, in Relink, right, there is a damage formula. And the damage formula, essentially, the big takeaway here is that damage cap, which is the main way you boost your damage, has diminishing returns. So, what this means is that the more you have, the less effective it is. So, I'll bring up this graph here. This graph. This graph essentially shows you how much actual damage increase you're getting per point of damage cap you're getting. So the first levels of damage cap you get are obviously not so. So like 1% damage or like whatever cap gives you like this much increase. Once you're at the end game, you have your terminus weapons and you have your master traits all leveled up, all the collection bonuses, you're probably around 2000 damage cap. Probably more like 2300-ish. At this point, getting like a little bit of damage cap doesn't really change your overall output that much compared to back here. So you're hitting omega diminishing returns basically. So if we take a look at the damage formula, nerd math section here, but this is the damage formula up here.
Yeah, you do this while I find crabs.
So this is the damage cap. All the damage cap is additive with each other. The Ellie advantage mod is your war elemental. So this is a multiplier. And then this is multiplied with your enhanced damage. And enhanced damage is the new type of essentially like seraphic amp that comes from Celestial Ventus, Celestial Aqua. Usually Warpath sigils have it too. And the new crab, Immortal Shell. Immortal Shell gives you 2%. Yeah, but it's another multiplier. And then Sup is obviously good, and Immortal Shell gives you 5% supplemental damage as well. So, because of the way the damage formula works out, essentially, if you have the choice between like Celestial Lumen and Immortal Shell will be a lot more damage. And it's fairly significant, is the thing. The other thing Immortal Shell also gives you is a attack up buff. And if you didn't know, in Relink, they changed buffs on your character to actually contribute to damage cap and debuffs on the enemy for that matter. So in the past, if you had 10% attack on your character, that would just mean 10% raw damage, which means that if your damage was getting capped, that 10% raw damage effectively did nothing. But now they made it so that if you have a 10% attack buff on your character, that contributes to a damage cap. And as far as I can tell from the damage formula videos that I watched, it seems like if you have 10% attack up, that essentially translates to a buff value of 5. So then you get to add 5 here, and then that translates to a bigger increase to your damage cap than this side. So is the crab sigil actually good? Yes, Immortal Shell is actually good. Let me bring it up on stream, but this one here, on the Relink wiki, shout out to the Relink wiki, with the new pincers that you rescue in Endless Ragnarok, it gives you a 10% visible attack buff, so that contributes to cap. It gives you 10% crit. It gives you it gives you 1% drain. And then it also gives you 5% cap, 2% defense. I think defense is very good as well. And then sup, and then the 2% amp. So ultimately, this all translates to, yes, it is a bigger damage increase than something like Celestial Lumen. So yeah, crab is good. The main opportunity cost for crab is that you have to give up a secondary sigil because Immortal Shell can only come as one sigil. You can only get one crab, yeah, so you would put this on your main character. So if we go back to my build in Relink on Frau, who I've built this for currently, I'll just bring it up after this one ends. Where do you get the crab sigil? It's from a side quest. If you haven't done the base game's crab quest, you have to do that first.
I'm doing that right now. I missed a crab somewhere in this chapter, and it's a single crab. I'm going to lose my mind.
Open the map.
It wasn't there.
Oh, maybe it's in a different section. Anyways, in the chapter select at the bottom, you can see that there's the crabs. There's the white crab and the black crab. The white crab is from the base game, but you have to get all the white crabs before you are able to start with the black crabs. And it's a quest. It's a side quest. The black crab quest is given to you by a kid in Seed Hollow. So that's how you get it. And once you do the quest, you'll get the sigil. So currently on my Frau build, let me just swap to it. This is my.
Oh my god! I found it.
You found
Jesus
it? Nice.
Christ!
So this is my setup at the moment. I don't play on mouse and keyboard usually, so I don't know what to press. Here we go. So I have these sigils. So those are the sigils I have. We have the 3 basics for the damage cap node on your master trait. Ideally, I think you move War Ellie and Spartan Echo off just so you can run a bit more utility here, but I don't think ultimately it matters that much either. But if we look at just all my sigils in general, and Immortal Shell is at the bottom, as you can see. But yeah, all in all, we've maxed out our stun. I was able to fit in Lumen, which is a bit of damage cap. Ventus, which is the damage dealt mod, is very useful, like I was saying, because of how the damage formula works. And same goes for Celestial Aqua. These two are the new sigils that I recommend putting in if you can. All the subs are good. You should try to fit in all the subs you can. So Spartan Echo, Berserk Echo, and sub damage. You should always try to max these. And then damage cap with the Terminus weapon, you get up to 63. Realistically, getting to 65, I don't think is worth it because of diminishing returns to damage cap once again. War Ellie is always good, you want this. And then I have a bunch of utility here. And what this build has also done is that it's allowed me to get a fair amount of utility. So I have Stout Heart. I have Stout Heart from my summons, which enables the Steel Nerves we have here, which is damage taken. And then we have Stronghold. And we have Improved Dodge and Potion Hold and Auto Res from my Right Stone. So all in all, I have 160k HP with a whole bunch of defense coming from all the sigils.
Are you using a skin on your weapon?
I am using a skin, yes. So this is the
Ew.
Terminus weapon. That's just the skin.
Send me your build later so I can compare it with mine.
Okay. But yeah, with this build, you can sort of go into a lot of these endgame fights and still do very close to the max theoretical damage, but also not die in one hit.
I love not dying in one hit now.
Like, so this is World. Normally, this quickening attack would probably one-shot you, but we took that much damage. With tanking hits, just heal up so we can tank more, and then yeah, you have drain on your character, so I'll just stand here, but you have drain on your character, so as you're hitting, you'll naturally heal as well. So yeah. So if you're not tanking every single hit in the universe, you'll probably be fine, and you can use your potions to heal up and things like that. So I've been finding this bulk very nice overall, and with this build, you don't even give up that much damage. And in fact, I would say it's very close to running all the damage you can. Pretty much the only damage cap, the big damage cap I'm missing is the Celestial Terror, I think it's called.
Is that the Tyranny one?
Tyranny, yeah, it's Tyranny but cap. And I don't think that's worth it, at least at the values it gives. And in this one as well, I could technically drop the Celestial Lumen. In this one, we could drop Celestial Lumen because this is just 70% cap, and in favor of like another uplift or something, which would be more defense. So I could do... we could do this sigil right here, I think. Uplifts up. Yeah, this one. And this gives me, as you can see in the bottom left, 10,000 HP with a bit less raw damage, but raw damage really doesn't matter anymore. So it depends on whether you want more damage or more bulk at this point. But yeah, either way, the big takeaway here is that damage cap is still always good. It's just you don't need to worry about maxing it out. The new stats like Celestial Aqua and Celestial Ventus are very good, the damage dealt ones. And then the Crab Sigil's good. That's the key takeaways here.
I can't believe I have to farm these freaking crabs.
It is like, at the end of the day, it's like still like we're talking about optimizing, right? So
it's why is there a crab here? Oh my god.
So yeah, something to note there.
I'm being challenged by platforming here.
Some of the new dark crabs, the new ones, they're hard to get. Like they're in weird places. So, and they're funny where they are. I would recommend looking up a guide for the dark crabs if you're doing it and you don't want to get stuck for a while.
Does it not show on a map?
Like it does show on the map, but it's sort of weird still sometimes. And there are some that you can miss if you progress too far. Isn't Aqua for break? Aqua is for break, link time, and Skybound art chains. For an SBA chain, it happens from the first one. So you basically don't lose any value. Link time is obviously link time. It's amazing. And then, yeah, break. So yes, it doesn't work for overdrive phases, bloodlust phases, or regular phases. But if you think about how your damage is distributed in a fight, you get huge damage windows anytime you SBA, or anytime they're in break, or anytime you're in link time. So for the windows where you're actually doing damage, you are getting a massive damage increase. So Aqua is very good. Don't let the restrictions saying, hey, it's for break, like fool you into thinking it's not that good. So, yeah.
Okay, slight tangent here. I'm doing like the ice place in the story mode right now.
Yeah.
Why does it take this lady like 5 minutes to open a door?
Yep.
And we could just like walk around?
Yeah, I don't know. I complained about that when I was getting the dark crabs yesterday, actually.
I forgot I have to go through all this again. Oh my god.
Yep, to get the dark crab. You have to wait for that door once again. It'll be fun.
I'm considering just not doing this. I don't know if I care that much.
If you don't get the crab, you can fit in quick cooldown 3. I think fitting quick cooldown 3 at the moment's sort of rough. On Frau, in particular. But don't you want the achievement as well?
I've got other achievements. It's fine.
I mean, what else would you be doing? Building your Zeta?
Yes, I could be doing that right now, but I'm waiting for this freaking lady to open the third door.
Oh, you have to go that far for the regular? Okay. For the dark crab, you only need the first door.
Like, this lady sucks.
So yeah. Any other things you want to say about Relink?
Fun game. Play it if you don't. If you haven't already.
I was listening to a Normie gaming podcast, and they talked about like new releases for games. And they talked about the 2 Weeb games that came out, which was Endless Ragnarok and Sword Art Online.
Ew.
And
please tell me they like praise Granblue at least.
They said out of the 2, if you want to play Weeb game, play Granblue.
Okay, good.
They said Granblue is much better. So there was a sense of pride there, I guess, or happiness, whatever you want to call it.
That our game isn't Sword Art Online, yeah, I guess.
Well, that our game was given the normie seal of approval, I guess. I think Relink is a lot bigger than any of us expected, nor the devs as well, and I'm really happy about that.
I'm glad they're like actually pushing it this time, because I feel like they didn't really push it on release.
I feel like they thought it was going to fail. Like, I feel like they thought, or they didn't have that much faith in it.
Yeah.
But then it sort of did much better than they expected, so... Like, I think what shows that clearly is like the promotional materials, but even things like them not making an official Discord. Like, that's such an easy thing that they could do, but they didn't do it until Endless Ragnarok. So they didn't invest anything into like social media management or things like that.
I think overall they're a lot better with pushing their global releases. Because we see that with Uma as well.
Yeah.
So like they know how to. Maybe they just like hired someone who actually knows what they're doing. But,
yeah, perhaps. I remember like only with Endless Ragnarok didn't they start doing the character intros? Like, they didn't even have that for the base game.
Yeah, they had to release everyone's.
Yeah, because they didn't. They didn't have anybody from the base game, and like that's sort of nuts, right? The fact that it didn't exist for the base game. So yeah, I don't know. But at the very least, I'm glad that they're doing it now, right? I'm glad that it's something that they're focusing on. But I do think it shows that they weren't expecting it to be as successful as it was. You wonder how the official Discord is faring? I am in it. It is definitely far less active than the unofficial Discord, and I think they actually made a mistake in the official Discord, which is in the unofficial one, they've separated all the characters into different channels, which is a good thing, right? If you want to talk about Beatrix, you can go into the Beatrix channel, ask questions there, and get info there. In the official one, what they did is they made threads for all the characters.
Ew.
And if you know Discord and if you know threads, everybody knows that threads are like impossible to find if you're not looking for them.
They time out essentially.
Yeah. So yes, the official Discord exists. But yeah, they put all the characters into threads, so nobody sees them. And yeah, last I checked, like if you want info for Granblue Relink, it is much better to be in the unofficial Discord. And I guess this is a nice segue into a couple of us have been working on the Relink wiki. So it's still bare bones, and we're working on improving it. There's a lot of just data that we're missing, but we have been working on it recently. I was able to get all the trait information onto the wiki. So if you want to just have a quick reference on the traits, you can go to the wiki. That info is there. Summons, Cajun uploaded all the images for the summons yesterday, I think. So that is there as well. So if you just want to see what the summons do, we have the summon drop info now, that Nenkai data mine. So I'll look into adding that to the wiki as well. But yeah, basically the Relink wiki is there. I promise you it's better than Fextra Life, so please check it out. But
I haven't been to that site in a while.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But there is still a fair amount missing. So if you are able to help out in any way, that isn't just like editing the wiki, it's even just like providing info. Like for example, on the summons, we're missing some info just because some of us don't have some of these summons. So even things like that would help out a lot. There's a Discord link on the front page of the wiki. The URL to the wiki is relink.gbf.wiki. So you can just go to the Discord and drop info there. That's where you would check it out. So yeah, just let us know. And obviously, like I said, we are looking for any help that we can possibly get, because there's a lot of info that we just are missing. I mentioned that I do want to add sigil builds, or like not just sigil builds, but character builds onto the wiki at some point. It mainly comes down to time and resources, really. And with Evoker Transcendence coming out next week, time's going to be a bit dicey. We'll have to see.
Maybe Evoker roguelite is not that too involved, and we don't need to super farm. We'll see.
I think everything we know about Granblue contradicts that. I would be incredibly surprised if Transcendence is a one-day, hey, one and done thing.
Maybe they'll let us use our Astros and Idioms that we definitely didn't send to Alchemy.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, give the wiki a look. Like I said, we are missing data. Like Frau and some of the new characters are not filled out. I think this is because I don't know how to work this, so some of this uses like code that I'm just not familiar with. So we'll get that on there as soon as we can. But some of the other supplementary information like summons and sigils and stuff we've been steadily adding. So currently it's mostly just a information dump. So if you don't want to check in game, you can go to the wiki and it might be there. So give that a look. And yeah, if you have any amount of time to help out with the wiki, we would greatly appreciate it.
Join the wiki Discord and
join
ask
the wiki
questions.
Discord. Link right there. All right. And yeah, I think that's today's episode. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
When is Evoker Transcendence?
Evoker Transcendence is Tuesday Japan time. And then
Monday
Bleach is Wednesday, I believe.
I don't care.
We did see the cast list for Bleach.
And none of them look like fire, so I'm good.
I would agree with that. None of them look like fire. But there is a very water-shaped elephant in the room. So I think water players are currently quaking in their boots. Did we talk about Osiris and Atman? Holy, we didn't.
Oops. Oh, whoopsie.
We completely forgot.
It's okay. There's nothing much to talk about.
No. Okay, let's talk about Atman and Osiris real fast. Let's start with
Sure.
Osiris.
Okay, Osiris, go on.
Okay, Osiris. I don't think my initial assessment has really changed on the character, which is that she is a very strong charge attack character for Dark in an element where there isn't many like good charge attack characters. This almost feels like, okay, I don't want this taken the wrong way, but
It's gonna get taken the wrong way.
I'm not saying Osiris is as strong as Horus currently. I think time will tell whether she is, but what I am saying is that Horus was like the first step into introducing Ogi stuff to Light. And I think like Horus was one of the pieces, early pieces for the Light Ogi team. I think Osiris sort of is that as well, along with Wamdas.
Okay, I'm like, where's the Wamdas part?
So Osiris is clearly extremely good. This character, very, very good. Does a ton of Ogi damage, does a ton of skill damage on her Ogis, which is exactly what you want. Has a lot of useful utility and a lot of debuffs and dispels. So everything you want in a HL raid where you would use an Ogi character, she's good at. I imagine just like the other Guild Wars, she'll be very good for NM250 charge attack teams as well for that reason. There are a couple things in her kit which is a bit like, hey, why is this here? Like she has Death's Grace. I'm not sure why she has Death's Grace because there's no relevant character that debuffs your team with Dot other than maybe Fadil, but I would argue Fadil's not really relevant for this sort of team anyways. So
yeah, who knows?
maybe a future character, we'll have to see. But yeah, that's what I think about Osiris. What about you?
I put her in my Papa Look Roofer full auto, and I replaced Lyria, and then it bricked the raid because she doesn't have an auto clear.
No,
So I just got beat up to hell. And it took like 30 turns. But otherwise, she's a fun character.
Munching
If I
linked
had auto
me
clear,
a team, a quote unquote charge attack team for I forget what raid, but it was the team was essentially Wamdas, Osiris, I forget the last one, but it was Wizard Origin with Saucy Moss as main hand. So essentially the other three characters were charge attacking constantly, and Wizard Origin was charge attacking only when they needed to with Burst Refrain. And it looked cool. It looked like a good application of the class and the team.
I heard a lot of Dark players say that she's missing something. Like she's not like the solution to all of Dark's problems. But time will tell.
Yeah, this is the team here. So it was Wizard Origin, Wamdas, Libelia, and then Nia into Osiris, it looks like. There's a Halasena here as well. But yeah,
Ring Halasena? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're saying like 190 to 200 DPT with this team.
How does that compare to is it Fighter?
Crawler? I think I'm not sure. I would imagine Crawler's lower DPT but higher DPM. I need a Dark player to tell me because I have no idea. But that's just my assumption based on what I know about the teams.
Oh, the Dark players were tall. Let's just wait. Anyway, and then there's the other character.
There's the other character. You're the fire player.
I cannot believe I woke up to this. I forgot that thing. Like it was a nice day. I was busy at work. I'm just gonna go to bed. And I woke up at like 5 a.m. Flash drops at like 3 my time. And like I've got like DMs from people that are like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what is happening? Did I say something wrong or something? And then like I open Granblue and there's freaking Summer Atman on my screen. I'm like, are you serious? This guy was supposed to be light. You were supposed to give him to the light players. What happened? In terms of the kit, you've heard of La Diva, so he's La Diva.
Have you seen any
Term-
front line usage?
Who's the fire hooker with like crazy stuff, has posted a subby full auto. We can already full auto subby, so I mean, like whatever. He mentioned that it's inconsistent because of all of the inconsistencies in the RNG in his kit.
Right. Yep.
So like that's just natural. Um, I don't see particular reason to use him frontline because we've got pretty good frontline Ogi characters.
Yep.
But essentially, he gives buffs from his S2 when you overchain or forechain, whatever, which is stupidly easy on Higurashi. So you pretty much get that like every turn, and they're good buffs. So if you Ogi, you want him. I worry about space in teams though with him. Um, I don't want I don't want to give up Frau. Like the thing is, Frau is pretty much core because of Sandira and her Fated Chain stuff.
Sure. Yep.
And then like we've been using a lot of like Versusia main stuff, so it depends on your summon space. So if you can drop Michael, that'd be great because I don't like Michael either. And then throw him in there. But yeah, good backline buffer with a crazy skill proc animation.
Yep. The him coming out and laughing is so funny.
It's so funny and so ridiculous, and I hate it.
Let me see
His
if I can
stupid
find it really
smile.
fast. But yeah. I think this character sort of shows the same problem that Esteriola has, which is the random buffs on chain burst. Like it's nowhere near as bad because Esteriola
Yeah,
has
you don't
10%
break
bar.
if you don't get the bar.
But
But
yeah,
like,
like it still sucks that you might just not get one of the really good ones, I guess. But yeah, there's his proc. And yes, he does say
so
ha 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 every time it pops up.
his laugh is so ridiculous.
I really like the character from like
He's fun,
yeah, he's a fun character. Then
and I hate
there's
that I just
another.
broke this banner.
How many poses does he have? Do you know?
He has 3 in for the procs.
Okay. I think on a personal note, if this had released for Wind, this is a character I don't feel happy about sparking. Because to me it looks like a backline character who is good, but ultimately sparking characters you don't actively use is disappointing.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So I
And Wind has
wish
so much competition for backline, right?
yeah, Wind I don't think we would even use this in Wind. Like
I mean,
because
like Essa is this basically, so
yeah, it's more that yeah, like you don't have the hype. Do you think Atman will be as useful as Ladiva? I think Ladiva giving a consistent buff and giving TA is more powerful, quote unquote, than this.
yeah, I was considering like not sparking this banner because like none of the buffs were like setup changing in the sense that like I'd be missing TA if I didn't have Ladiva or something like that. Like they're good buffs, but like I don't feel like I really need any of the buffs
Yeah,
to do anything.
I'm with you there. Yeah, I guess we'll see. In places like Vesusia, I assume you have room to just chuck him in because you have so many slots.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure we do.
But yeah, definitely for the shorter or not unlimited raids grids like the regular teams, then there's a lot of competition.
We run Frau Michael backline. We do run
Okay.
Versusia main. So we might have to put in a third overrider.
Right. That is annoying, especially on a charge attack team.
They should have given him the Primarch passive. He's an Astral, give me the Primarch passive. I would rather run him than Michael.
Okay. No, I guess that's
He's
something
fun.
then. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. At the moment, Osiris definitely feels like much more relevant out of the two. I think Atman will probably like at least see some use from his backline, but if he doesn't, I wouldn't also be surprised. Because hype at the end of the day is a crazy buff, but it is raw damage. And with the way grids are shaping up, you might just not need that raw damage anymore. And since the other ones are just random, it's not too relevant, I guess. Or it's not reliable, so it's hard to just be like, oh, since I get armored, it's good. Because you only get it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have him, so I don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to worry about it. All right. Final question before we wrap up. We have 2 more summer banners left. Guess the elements.
Not fire, please. Please, no more fire.
No more fire. Okay. What elements then?
Light
Assuming
and
4
dark
playable
door.
characters.
I think there's definitely a light.
Yes. I'm writing this down so we can look back on it.
Okay. I feel like water's been getting a lot of things. I don't think it's water.
So you said light and dark so far?
I said light.
Okay.
Obviously we just got Osiris, but I do think we get more dark things maybe after summer.
Okay. So 3 more characters. You have 1 light.
Reverie list here. I can see an earth and a wind. Sorry.
Okay. I'm thinking wind as well.
It's okay. The later banners are usually better, so you'll get a good character, not a Mahira.
All right, 1 more. You said light, earth, wind.
I have to guess a 4th one? Okay. Yep. Have we doubled up in banners or character releases before? Yeah, 2. Last year was 2 wind.
Yes. You're asking the wind player if they doubled up.
Okay,
Yes,
but both
did.
of those banners were good, so you could have sparked those. I feel like another dark, maybe later on.
Another
Could be
dark.
a thing.
All right.
Who was my guest this season?
You went with
Beatrix, right?
I'll double check. Yes, you did. You went Beatrix.
That could be water, though.
You want to change your dark to water?
I forgot. I completely forgot. Valentine's Gawain was a character.
Yes. Oh my god.
Holy crap! I have not seen that guy.
Yeah, that guy has been basically non-existent.
I think it'd be really funny to do a second light. I'm just saying.
So second light is your guess?
Back-to-back light is kind of crazy though, but we do have collab. I don't know. It'd be really funny.
All
Sorry,
right.
light players. I just think it's funny.
You're ditching the dark for a second light.
But light has gotten a lot of new things since last Guild War. Put me in. Yeah, put me in second dark.
Second dark.
Yeah.
Okay, so light, earth, wind, dark is your guess.
Yes.
I think light as well. I think wind. I don't want there to be a wind. I think there's going to be
don't say fire. Don't say it.
I think water.
Okay.
And I think water also gets hits a guy as well. So I think water's going to get fucked a bit. So yeah, and I think earth. So light, wind, water, earth. That's my guess.
Okay. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I had one more guess, I would say fire.
Europa.
Light did get Europa, yeah. Should we both change our lights to fire?
No, it's fine. These predictions don't really matter, but...
Yeah. No, what if Cygames changes based on what they hear from us? What if we change the course of history?
Okay, then add 3 lights.
And then they see how vindictive you are.
Listening.
And then they like you, and they see the fire icon next to your profile picture right now, and then they put fires in, thinking you'd like it.
As long as it's a cool character. I still have my emergency 0.
Okay. All right. Anyways, we're a little over time. Thank you for listening to Tenor for Tenor today. I'm sorry we didn't actually do a Tenor for Tenor. We sort of forgot.
Sorry,
but I think for the next banner, which will be after Legend, for the next podcast, which will be after Legend, I think we'll be able to do it. And yeah, next time we'll be talking about Evokers, we'll be talking about Legend Gala, we'll be talking about Bleach, a whole bunch of things. So yeah, do I guess one of each? There's no way it's happening. Well, we can guess one of each as well.
I doubled up on dark. What do you mean?
Oh, did you take out light?
No, I did light, earth, and 2... Oh, because I said... Yeah, I said wind and dark, but the dark was because we already have a dark character. And that was the double up, right? Okay.
Well, mine doubles up too, no? We've had earlier water. Oh, are we not including March ones?
No.
Oh, okay. Well then.
That's fake summer.
Okay. Well then I'll go fire instead of earth.
No, you don't have to do that.
You said it doesn't matter.
They're listening and they listen to you more.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll go back to earth then.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out. Omika, any final words?
I'm a Relink gamer now. I don't care about mobile game.
Okay.
I'm not spending any more money. Definitely didn't cash spark.
I'm on very low pulls, so I'm hoping I don't have to do anything drastic either. All right. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Catch you guys in the next episode. Goodbye. Bye-bye.